The Dodgers ruined baseball again by signing Kyle Tucker to a record-breaking contract. We're breaking all down. Kyle Tucker dropped a fire video on his Instagram they're going to react to. The baseball internet is very mad right now. We're going to sip some of their tears, and we're going to tell you what is next for the Dodgers. And how much will Tucker really cost L.A.? That's coming up next on the L.A. Sports Report. LA is the sports capital of the world. The Lakers have entered their Luka Doncic era. LeBron doesn't just want a farewell tour, he wants a farewell title. The Rams are going to win the Super Bowl. Go, Kings, go! The Dodgers are the best run franchise in all of professional sports. Shohei Ohtani is the GOAT. Steve Ballmer will do anything to get the Clippers a championship. Mick Cronin has to win a national championship at UCLA. Justin Herbert is a top 5 quarterback in this league. College football is just better when USC is good. This whole city has the Mamba mentality. I love LA.
Live from the heart of Los Angeles, this is the LA Sports Report with your host, Doug McKain.
What is up, and welcome to the LA Sports Report, the fastest growing all LA sports show where we cover every single team. The Dodgers, the Rams, USC, UCLA, the Chargers, the Kings, the Lakers. Might throw some Raiders in here. Might throw some Angels in here. Covering the Olympics, the World Cup, LAFC. And today, we are talking about the Los Angeles Dodgers. I see the chat lighting up. What's up, Mario? What's up, BC? What's up, Ant Dog says, the new evil empire. LTG from Mario says, LTG, let's tuck and go. I love it. BC says, go LA Sports, Dodgers, Lakers, Rams, Kings. All the haters, y'all already know what you can do. Deep69 says this lineup is like Murderer's Row, but they're all Dexter. I love that. And Dog, time to hear a lot of I love LA at Dodgers Stadium. BC, LL Herbert is definitely not a top 5 quarterback. Top 5 arm talent. Might have to redo that one. Tuck the haters. Empire Jeff, what is up, my man? I see you doing your thing. Basketball, love you, D-Mac. Thanks for your hard work at Dodgers Nation. Locked on Rams, and now here too. Would be a dream come true to meet you someday. Go Rams, go Dodgers. What is up? You called it, D-Mac. What's up, Ant Dog? Hey, what'd I say? Don't count this team out for any free agent signing. I want more. This is enough. Go out and get Bo. Go out and get Tarek Skubal on a trade. It's like rooting for the Harlem Globetrotters at this point for Los Angeles Dodgers. I got some funny, angry tweets from the Dodgers haters out there that are really mad about this. This one's pretty funny. We'll run through some of these. Nick is a Mets fan, says, because if you look at it this way, you're going to spend $60 million on a guy like Kyle Tucker when you know for damn certain he shouldn't be making more than Aaron Judge. Okay, you're mad. We'll talk about those. But first, I want to react to this video from Kyle Tucker. By the way, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Go to my Twitter at DMAC_LA, retweet, and you'll be eligible to win a Kyle Tucker Dodgers jersey the minute they drop at the Dodgers Team LA store at Universal City Walk. So definitely go ahead and do that. But let's check this out. This is going to give you goosebumps. Here, this is what Kyle Tucker, King Tuck, this is what he posted on his Instagram after the news of the signing broke.
With the 5th selection of the 2015 MLB Draft, the Houston Astros select Kyle Tucker.
He golfs one here, deep right field, Kyle Tucker! Kyle Tucker, the Houston Astros, world champions!
The Chicago Cubs fired outfielder Kyle Tucker.
Swing and a drive. Kyle Tucker drives one deep to right field and gone! Tucker hooks one deep to right field. There it is.
more thrilled to introduce the newest member of the Los Angeles Dodgers.
That gives me goosebumps. I love how he leaves the number blank. You know he's not going to rock 30. What is he going to rock, 57.1? That's how much he's getting with the deferred. Okay, so let's break down what we know from the timeline on the deal and everything you need to know about Kyle Tucker. So, top of the lineup, I got some chats down below. I see you guys rocking it. We got BC, we got DC, hi again, future three-peaters. Dan Marino says, Scooble is a trade possibility now. Chills from Lone. It's giving World Series from Wadib. Elite from DC. You're talking about Kyle Tucker's video on from the Instagram. That was awesome. D-Mac, let's not get ahead of ourselves and give the Dodgers a third chip yet. The Fraud Rays just signed Nick Solak to a minor league deal. Comment of the show got me dying. Got me weak. Fire take. Finish him. Love to see that. All right, so let's get you caught up on the timeline. So it was close to 6 o'clock, close to 7 o'clock here on the West Coast, 8:53 p.m. on the East Coast. And it was Jeff Passan who tweeted out about Kyle Tucker going to the Dodgers. This is another one of those. You know what? I'm going to put together a list of like my favorite Jeff Passan tweets. Okay, remind me to do that. My top 10 favorite Jeff Passan tweets. This is definitely going to probably enter the conversation at some point because I do love me this tweet for sure, because this is the tweet that first broke the news. It says, breaking star outfielder Kyle Tucker and the Los Angeles Dodgers are in agreement on a free agent contract. Sources tell ESPN. That was the deal with that. And Kyle Tucker becomes a Los Angeles Dodger. So that was the first big moment. Of course, internet's freaking out. Fans of other teams are hating, saying the Dodgers are ruining baseball. Wah! Someone call the wambulance. The Dodger haters are out. Someone call the wambulance. The Dodgers are ruining baseball, but it's really your team's cheap owner that's hurting baseball. Crowd is out. And then, shortly after the announcement, Robert Murray of Fansided, he reported it's a 4-year deal, $240 million, $60 million AAV. Tucker can opt out after the 2027 season and also after the 2028 season. And then shortly after that, John Heyman reported that the deal includes $30 million in deferred money and that it will have a $57.1 million annual value for luxury tax purposes after all the accounting for the deferrals. That'll give him the record for the largest AAV salary by net present value in history. So he still sets a record. That is the record for contracts for AAV, $57.1 million for Kyle Tucker. And it's a deal that I think protects him. If he gets injured, hey, you got $240 million. If he slumps, you got $240 million. If he's great, you're with the Dodgers for 2 years of your prime. You're collecting almost $120 million, and then you can re-enter the market and sign a new $300 million deal. At that point, you do the math. 300 plus 120, you're at 420, and then you're extremely paid. Okay, I mean, he's not going to be hurting for cash at any point, at any time, for any reason. He's going to be making more next year than he did for his entire 6-year career. That's how much money he's making in year one. And they got the best outfielder on the market if you're the Dodgers. And you talk about this from Kyle Tucker's standpoint, you kind of look about him as a player. And Kyle Tucker now improves the Dodgers' odds of winning the World Series. Their odds before were at a plus 270. Now they're at a plus 230. And the first thing you know about Kyle Tucker is this. Of all the available options that the Dodgers had, he was by far the number one target, and he was the best available option. The only question is, would they be able to present him at a contract that would make sense? Because I don't think the Dodgers would have gone 10 years for Kyle Tucker. I think it came down to him not liking the deal with the Blue Jays, not wanting to commit long-term to Toronto. And by the way, Blue Jays lose. Kyle Tucker's not on a plane to Toronto. He's on a plane to L.A. And that contract, once that was out of the picture, and it was, like I said this whole week, if it came down to Mets-Dodgers, there's no way you could talk me into the Mets making more sense than the Dodgers, even if you're getting a little more money with the Mets. But here's the beautiful thing. The Dodgers offer ends up topping this big mind-blowing offer that was out there for the Mets. Everyone went crazy. Wow, $50 million for Kyle Tucker. Ends up getting $60 with the deferrals $57.1. So even at the end of the day, the Dodgers' short-term high AAV offer was higher than the Mets' short-term high AAV offer. And there's really nothing that you can compare the Mets to. They had this massive payroll last year. They missed the playoffs. There's been talk that there's been issues within that clubhouse as far as team chemistry. Guys getting along, Francisco Lindor and Juan Soto. They don't have the depth that the Dodgers do have. The Dodgers have a chance to three-peat. The Dodgers guarantee him a shot of winning a World Series, another World Series. He fits better in this lineup. And here's the thing. In L.A., all that talk about him not wanting to be the face of the franchise, not wanting to be face fronting and out in front and getting that attention, you probably think, wait a minute, but he's on the Dodgers. They're the evil empire now. They're the Death Star, right? They're the Avengers. They're going to be the rock stars of baseball like they always are. True, but when Shohei Ohtani is your teammate, you're always going to be overshadowed, and you don't have to be the face of this organization. I'm sure that he'll embrace kind of probably taking on some new opportunities. And I think here's the thing, too. When Shohei Ohtani came here, you can't think of that many examples of him being all out in public and not necessarily in public, but kind of just seeing the personality side of him like the Dodgers have brought out of him. I think the Dodgers will bring out some personality in Kyle Tucker. But the number one thing you need to know is that Kyle Tucker was the best guy that they had available, and now he makes them by far the best team in baseball. And this thing about Kyle Tucker, he's a guy that gets you 30 home runs. He can steal you 20 bases. He can hit for average. He's going to be 40 to 50% above league average offensively. But also, it's the elite plate discipline. He can go gap to gap. It's the fact that he brings versatility to his game as well. And to simplify it, you can distill it to this. The Dodgers had a need. They had the 18th outfield out of 30 teams as far as overall offensive production, defensive production. As a whole, they were the 18th best outfield in Major League Baseball out of 30 teams. That is by definition. There's 30 teams. If you're worse than 15th, you're below average. The Dodgers had a below average outfield last season, and they needed to improve it. And this was the plan A. And just like with Edwin Diaz, they got their plan A. Just like with Ohtani and Yamamoto, they got their plan A. Like I said, the Dodgers shop on Rodeo Drive. They don't shop at Ross. And there's another example of that. The beauty of all of this is you don't need to get Cody Bellinger, where Cody Bellinger was a lot better in New York than he was outside of Yankee Stadium. Cody Bellinger's had long slumps throughout his career. He's been injured. And then you got the other options on the trade market with Stephen Kwan and Luis Robert Jr. and Lars Nootbaar and Brendan Donovan and all those guys. None of those guys are remotely in the same category as Kyle Tucker. Basically, this is what you need to know. Kyle Tucker is a top 10 player at the dish when he's right. He's a top 10 hitter. So now you have Shohei Ohtani, who's a top 10 hitter. Freddie Freeman's a top 10 hitter. Will Smith, the best hitting catcher, along with Cal Raleigh and some others. But really, in that conversation, especially in the National League, Mookie Betts, if he has a bounce-back year, just a couple seasons ago, he hit 39 home runs and was well above league average. Let's see how Mookie looks like when he's not dealing with the stomach flu all offseason, having to learn shortstop. Mookie Betts has been a top 10 hitter in his career. Teoscar Hernandez is a top 5 hitter against left-handed pitching, and he just won the Silver Slugger a couple years ago. Max Muncy, after he put the glasses on, and it was Max Muncy, he was an all-star caliber hitter. Andy Pages had his moments through his raking. There's really no holes in this lineup, and now you get the consistency and the stability of Kyle Tucker. I think the big question is, where does he bat in the lineup? Do you go Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts? I think that's a safe bet. The only thing I think you could have the argument for is batting second, you could potentially see Will Smith like we saw in Game 6 of the World Series. But you're going to see Kyle Tucker bat third, fourth, or fifth. I think that you could see him and Freddie Freeman bat back-to-back, even they're both left-handed hitters. I think you could see Tucker third and Freddie fourth. I think with Freddie's running, I would rather see Kyle Tucker third and get him on base. So I got Shohei, Mookie, and Kyle Tucker batting 1, 2, 3. And then I got Freddie Freeman at 4. And then Will Smith, Teoscar. I think you can put Max Muncy in between Will Smith and Teoscar. So either way, I mean, pick your poison. They're going to absolutely rake. Okay, so kind of getting back to the path for Kyle Tucker to the Dodgers, well, as it stands, it contains the second highest annual value in history. Ohtani technically got $70 million. With a lot of that deferred, it's basically at $46 million. And then Juan Soto is at $51 million on his 15-year, $765 million deal. But he's getting more than Aaron Judge. And kind of looking at him as a player, he had one season in Chicago. He got off to a fantastic start. When he started the season in Chicago, he was absolutely elite. He looked like he was going to be like MVP territory with the Cubs. In Chicago, through the 1st of June, he was hitting .284 with a .359 on base, a .524 slug, and then he jammed his right thumb, diving into second base on a stolen base attempt. He did not go on the injured list, but they did some additional testing, and it showed that he had sustained a tiny fracture in the top of his hand between his ring finger and his pinky. And the hand injury wasn't considered serious until they saw a dip in his performance. And I think this dip in his performance is the best thing that ever happened to the Dodgers, because if he had continued that year, he's for sure getting $400 million. There's no doubt about it. But he did go through a slump. His next couple of weeks, I mean, he slumped, and then he kind of found it, and then he slumped. I mean, the next couple of weeks he was hitting around 300, but in July he was hitting 189, 325, slugging just 235, had one home run in a 6-week stretch. So because that hairline fracture that wasn't even reported until August, everyone was wondering what's wrong with Kyle Tucker. And then the Cubs, they made it known that he was injured, and then they gave him some time off. And then Craig Counsell sat him for 3 games at the end of August before kind of moving in the middle of the order. And then he kind of got his groove back. I mean, he was starting to hit like Kyle Tucker, and then he strained his left calf early in September and went on the injured list, and then he missed 3 weeks because of that in his final month of the season. So he finished the regular season hitting 266, 377, 464. He did have under 600 plate appearances, so did get a lot of plate appearances at the end of the day, but he hit 259 with 1 home run in 8 postseason games with the Cubs too in the divisional series as they advanced. So wasn't good in the postseason. Clearly was not feeling great. But I mean, his offense was still 36 better than league average. And I look at offensively lifetime, 273, 358, 507, 38% above league average. And he really is extremely consistent too. So I think at 2025, 2024, I mean, it's an outlier season. It really is. Now, as far as defensively, his glove isn't as good as his bat. He did win a Gold Glove in 2022 with the Astros, but his defensive grades and his sprint speed have gone down as he's gotten closer to 30. So that is another thing. The defense isn't great, but it can be league average for sure. And even if it's a little below, it's not bad. And the Dodgers can put him into right field. And like I said, your offense improves and your defense improves because now Teo's not going to be in right field. So the Cubs gave him the qualifying offer, and it was down to the Dodgers, Mets, and Blue Jays. The Mets didn't want to make that long-term commitment, but they offered him a 4-year deal, $50 million. So, yeah, the thing is, Kyle Tucker is the Dodgers' second signing this offseason for a player that was offered the qualifying offer. They signed Edwin Diaz to a $69 million deal. They gave up their second and fifth round picks for this upcoming draft this summer and $1 million in their 2027 international bonus pool money. So they'll end up giving up their third and sixth round picks for Tucker. And the Cubs will get a comp pick between a competitive balance round B and the start of the third round. So, yeah, I mean, they're going to have to give up some for sure. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of the story. And the wild thing about this is when you look at the Dodgers salary cap right now and their salary situation, actually, and the way that they're going to be taxed, I mean, they're taxed at a 110% rate because they're well above $304 million. And with the $62.8 million tax hit in the first season, the Dodgers, they're basically have to pay him $120 million. So last year, the Dodgers luxury tax payroll was at $417 million, and that forced them to have to pay $169.4 million in taxes. So now you're looking at a massive, massive tax bill for the Dodgers, but it does not matter. It really doesn't. They are making money hand over fist, and he is a Los Angeles Dodger, and he's going to fit right in. And I think you can say this right now. This Dodgers team, if everyone stays healthy, and of course that's a big if in capital letters, and you need the guys to stay in their primes, but you could say that, look, this could go down not only as one of the best baseball teams in history, but this could go down as one of the best professional sports teams of any league, because it's not the NFL, it's not the NBA. They're not strapped by a salary cap. They can sign who they want. And this could be one of the last teams that can put together a roster like this depending on what happens in the next CBA. So this is truly historic. I mean, think 2017 Warriors, man. Think of KD on the Warriors, except Shohei is better than anyone on the Warriors team as far as Steph and KD, because the truth is that Warriors team, as great as they were, they didn't have MJ or LeBron, guys who are considered to be the very best at their sport, like Shohei is for his sport. But as far as how much they dominated their sport, how much they dominated in the postseason, that's the thing about baseball. I mean, you can have the best team in the world, but baseball is going to baseball, and you never know. But that's kind of what comes to mind for me is that, yeah, this is the best. This has potential to be the best lineup, the best team that we've ever seen, just barring health. But, yeah, just an incredible day. I want to read some of these hater tweets, though, and I'm going to get to your comments, see what you guys got. Welcome to the LA Sports Report. Thanks for rocking with us. All my Lakers fans, all my Rams fans, USC, UCLA. We got D-Mac late night, all night. Ant Dog, the revenue will come in, so we're not worried about the money. I forgot about Edwin Diaz. We've got the highest ticket price in Major League Baseball. We're worth it. Yeah, here's the thing, man. It's like, I mean, this is just going to happen. Like, he's guaranteed to be with the Dodgers for 2 years. And when you look at the primes of these players right now, when you look at Ohtani, and he's 31, he's going to be 32 in July. July 5th is when he turns 32. If you look at Mookie's age, he's 33, turns 34 on October 7th. You look at Freddie Freeman and his age, and he's the oldest of the prime players, but Freddie Freeman, he's going to be definitely towards the end of his prime. He's going to be 37 by the end of the season. You look at Teoscar Hernandez over 30. You look at Will Smith, he's definitely young of the bunch, but even Will Smith, he's a catcher, and Will Smith is going to certainly help this team, of course, for a long time, but he's going to be 31 in March. So what I love about this the most is it's not just about what you're doing for Kyle Tucker and the money, right? That's kind of irrelevant, right? Great. You got paid. I'm happy for you. Awesome. It's not just rewarding the fans. I think it's rewarding this team. It's rewarding this core. It's saying, hey, we know we're great. We know that we'd still be the favorites to win the World Series, but you know what? We're going to try to get even better. And that's the thing about the Dodgers. They've gotten better every single offseason, even when they have stacked lineups, even when they've had great teams, right? Like A+++. Like they have gotten better. They have improved. And I think that's what takes us to a whole nother level. And I'm really excited to see what Kyle Tucker does for this team because I think he's going to shatter a lot of narratives. I mean, I think I want to see if anyone has the guts to ask him at the press conference. And I might be that guy. Hey, Kyle, there were people even in this city that were saying that you don't love baseball, that there's an Anthony Rendon vibes and that kind of stuff. What are your thoughts on that? Were you hearing any of that stuff? And what was your reaction to that? And I'm curious to see what he has to say because, I mean, I don't know Kyle Tucker, but I do know he's a great baseball player, and I do know it's very tough to be great at something you don't love. So what does that mean? If he loved this, he'd be better than Shohei Ohtani, Aaron Judge? Like, I just think it's a bunch of bullshit. I mean, a bunch of BS. Sorry, whoa. Guess what? We can do that on this show sometimes. I just think it's a bunch of BS. I really, truly do. And I can't wait to see him shatter. I can't wait to see sunflower seeds all over him after a home run. I can't wait to see him get a Gatorade shower. I can't wait to see him let loose a little bit. I really can't. All right, some comments here. D-Mac, let's not get a little ahead of ourselves. All right, let's go down below. Love to see it. Let's go here. We've got not worth the money. Do it, D-Mac. Dang, D-Mac. Yeah. Tucker is a great addition to the lineup. 3-peat incoming. Okay, you guys want to read some of the angry tweets here? I want to see those tweets. I want to see who's talking smack. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, Kyle Tucker, he's one of just 6 players with 25 BWAR and a 140 OPS plus since 2021. He's on the same list that includes Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, Corey Seager. Like, that is the caliber. And, of course, he's not Judge or Ohtani, but he certainly is in that tier with Freddie and Corey. Juan Soto might be on his own tier, especially when he's at its best. I think that's tough to say that. But he's a guy that he walks more than he strikes out. Like, that's the kind of hitter that he is. There's great plate discipline. I like that Paul Charles Dodgers parade coming in October. I love that. Yeah, they just continue to ruin baseball. They really, really do. All right, let's see here some of these hater tweets. Okay, we have got, they're in shambles, man. The internet is in shambles. Petey Wang says the fact that Kyle Tucker is now making $20 million more per year than Aaron Judge is absolutely insane. Hey, right place, right time, right? Jeremy Coffin, Kyle Tucker is making $57 million a year and won't have any pressure on him and won't be asked any questions post-game. He will show up and play ball and leave. I will ask him questions, so I don't believe that one. A common sense over on X says, on the one hand, everybody is saying it's not fair the Dodgers got Kyle Tucker. On the other, everyone is saying he's not that great. Pick one. Yeah, which is it? Because that's the thing. Like, if the Dodgers, if this was like 2018 or 2019 and the Dodgers signed Kyle Tucker, would you be freaking out as much if they didn't have Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Will Smith, Teoscar Hernandez, Max Muncy in this lineup? You probably wouldn't. But I think that you should be more excited that Kyle Tucker's a Dodger than if Kyle Tucker was a Met. Because if Kyle Tucker was a Met, it'd be like, cool, he's just chasing a bag on a team that's probably not going to win a World Series. But I feel like as a Dodgers fan, you should be even more excited about this because of your existing roster and the fact that he filled a very crucial, important need. And then the fact that he's probably going to be even better on this team with that protection. So the truth is, for people that are saying Kyle Tucker is not the best thing since sliced bread or whatever it may be, it's kind of one of those things where it's like the Dodgers already have the mansion and the yacht and the Lambos and the Bugattis and all this stuff, right? But they need a private island, right? They need a private island. They need to travel to space, right? It's like, well, when you're that billionaire that just wants to keep getting things, it's like, hey, you got all this stuff, let's get some more, right? And here's the thing, too. I don't care what the haters say because the Dodgers, they built this. And it's not Andrew Friedman in the Guggenheim Group only. It's what Peter O'Malley did. It's what Walter O'Malley did. It's what the ownership group did. It's what Vin Scully did. It's what Sandy Koufax and Fernando Valenzuela did. It's what Oral Hershiser did. It's what Clayton Kershaw did. They turned this franchise into a marquee franchise. And here's the thing. It all traces back to the TV deal. $8.25 billion TV deal with Spectrum Sportsnet. You only get a TV deal when a lot of people want to watch your baseball team. And a lot of people want to watch your baseball team when it's guys like Tommy Lasorda and Ron Cey and Steve Garvey. And you fall in love with the team, the stadium, the Dodger dogs, the jerseys, the hats, Dodger blue. So guess what? You signed Kyle Tucker. I'm looking at you. And that's the fan. This is the fans that did this. So let's not forget this. Sliced dough bread is awesome. Yeah, no doubt about it. So let's not forget that. That's what it truly is all about. Mr. Classic, what up, Mr. Classic? My man. Saw you tweet at me on X. What's that about? I love you, man. Mr. Classic. Ohtani, Betts, Tucker, Smith, Freeman, Muncy, Teo, Pies, Edmund. That's your lineup. See, that's where I'm at, too. I don't think I mean, they want to stagger the lineup, of course. They want to stagger that lineup, of course. But you look at Kyle Tucker and his ability. I mean, look, when you're a great hitter, odds are you're going to be good against left and right to a degree. But Kyle Tucker, look at those splits, man. They're almost identical. He hits 264 against righties, 269 against lefties, 849 OPS against righties, 826 OPS against lefties. Like, Freddie Freeman, where's Freddie at? What up, Frederick? You don't get 3,000 hits if you can only hit righties as a lefty, right? You don't get 3,000 hits if you can't have success against both sides. But last year, Freddie Freeman, 285 against lefties, 299 against righties, 855 OPS against lefties, 874 OPS against righties. I think what they'll end up doing is they'll have Freddie Freeman and Kyle Tucker probably going back-to-back in the 3 and 4 spots because you want to give them as many at-bats as possible. Then again, Will Smith is the guy who hit the game-winning home run in the World Series, if we're being completely honest about that. All right, let's keep it on these hater tweets. We got NCSTL. With the Dodgers signing of Kyle Tucker, owners now have sufficient leverage to initiate an extensive year-long lockout starting in December 2026. Salary cap has now become a mandate across the entire political spectrum, baseball fandom. I think this was the plan all along. Well, you know what? If that's the case, guess what? You can't grandfather out players. You can't force the Dodgers to trade players. It'd be, you know what? That's how sad. These are some bootlicker fans that basically are what their owners want. And instead of writing these Karen-ass tweets about the Dodgers, they should be doing the same thing to their fans and to their team owners, because that's the truth. Is they're the problem. It's not the Dodgers. So, hey, let's three-peat, and we'll worry about 2027 when it comes. But, yeah, we got Dodgers Muse. We got Kyle Tucker. Just insane. People are saying, for Kyle Tucker's the highest paid player in baseball. Let that sink in. Gabriel, Dodgers do it again. They land the big fish in free agency. Yeah, man. They have landed all the big fishes. That is what they have done. All right, let's read some of your comments, guys. Tomorrow is going to be a football Friday. Talking Rams. Oh, man, there's some Laker trades to get into. Herb Jones. There's some interesting Lakers rumors we'll get into. D-Mac unfiltered right now, late night. Hey, man. I've been talking for like 2 straight hours. But Scooble next. Yeah, so what's next for the Dodgers? Well, now they have the outfield situation figured out. I think the next thing they have to do is decide on Teoscar Hernandez, and does he move to left field, or do they see left field as maybe Ryan Ward or this and that, and they want to kind of get off of Teo? I just don't think they're going to do that. I think is the clubhouse chemistry, what he brings. He's great in the postseason. He's great against left-handed hitters. I would be absolutely shocked if they were going to trade Teoscar Hernandez. I think he moves back to left field, and then center field. Look, Andy Pages, as far as defensive metrics, he was good in center field. I mean, let's not forget, for anyone saying, oh, Andy Pages can't be a center fielder, the metrics were there, and he made the greatest catch in Dodgers history in the World Series to save the game. So guess what? I think he's got a lot of confidence in center field. So I think that's your outfield alignment there. It's Teo, it's Pages in center, it's Teo in left, and it's Kyle Tucker in right. You look at the infield, it's be Max Muncy. I think you could see some Tommy Edman there. I think when Kike comes back and Miguel Rojas, I think Muncy has gotten injured, it feels like, every season the last couple of years. So I think they're going to have a mix there. I think shortstop, you could see them mix it up a little bit there too. Hae-Sung Kim, Miguel Rojas. You got Tommy Edman. You've got Alex Freeland as a possibility kind of down there. And then I think we know that the catcher situation is Dalton Rushing, and it is Will Smith and Freddie Freeman at first base. And Dave Roberts told me you're going to see some more Freddie Freeman taking some days off and some Dalton Rushing at first base. And then when the season starts, you're going to see Kike Hernandez sign, go to the 60-day IL, and then you'll get a variation of the bench right there with Alex Call, and we'll see Ryan Ward gets the opportunity. They trade him for some prospects to keep off the 40-man. There's a lot in play for sure, and we're going to talk about it tomorrow on Dodgers Dugout Live. The roster moves, more takeaways from this, and the offense has been bad, think Blue 74 for Andy Pages. There's no doubt about that. There really isn't. He was benched in the postseason, so that's certainly something to consider. But Kyle Tucker's a Dodger. LA gets the top free agent once again. So they got the top outfielder, they got the top reliever. This lineup is absolutely stacked beyond belief. This is the greatest Dodgers team in franchise history on paper. And I think, depending on how the season goes, they're not going to force guys in the regular season to try to get to 116 or more wins. But I do think that this is kind of the year where if they stay healthy, I mean, you finish with the best record in baseball and you win the World Series in dominant fashion. This is a team we could be talking about as one of the greatest teams in professional sports history. So, you know what? This was another awesome day in the world of Dodger baseball. A great Tuckin' day. A great day because he's a bad mother Tucker. Kyle Tucker is a Los Angeles Dodgers. Catch you tomorrow on Dodgers Dugout Live and LA Sports Report. Got a football Friday. We've got Lakers, Clippers playing a lot better without Chris Paul. We're talking all LA sports. So do me a huge favor. Subscribe. Comment laser down below. You could comment get the tuck out down below and subscribe so that way you're eligible because I'm going to get that jersey from the Team LA store at Universal City as soon as it drops and do that as a giveaway. Gonna one person who retweets that tweet and is subscribed to the show, and whoever I send it to, I'll definitely get a picture. Every time I've done it in the past, I've always done it, and it means a lot to me to get back to you guys because you guys give me so much too. Because you guys are the best. All right, guys, see ya, and remember that LA is the city of champions. LA is the sports capital of the world. The Lakers have entered their Luka Doncic era. LeBron doesn't just want a farewell tour, he wants a farewell title. The Rams are going to win the Super Bowl. Go, Kings, go! The Dodgers are the best run franchise in all of professional sports. Shohei Ohtani is the GOAT. Steve Ballmer will do anything to get the Clippers a championship. Mick Cronin has to win a national championship at UCLA. Justin Herbert is a top 5 quarterback in this league. College football is just better when USC is good. This whole city has the Mamba mentality. I love